Hi, welcome to another episode of Documentary Watch on Dr. Doc. Um, this episode is quite frankly, it's not going to be disturbing in the horrific sense, but in terms of philosophy and the ideals that we had as human beings, I think a lot of that were shattered after the documentary I watched a couple of weeks back. So, before I get into the details, let's head straight into the intro. So, the documentary I watched for this particular episode is called Going Clear: Scientology and the Prison of Belief. It is directed by Alex Gibney, and it's based on the book written by Lawrence Wright. And it is about the quote unquote religion called Scientology. Uh, I'm pretty sure most of you, uh, when you were young, there might have been one or two people who must have asked you whether you believed in Scientology as a religion. And when I was asked that, quite frankly thought it was something to do with like believing the nature outside as a religion or something like that. I never really put in research because I was young, number one, and number two, I was naive. But after watching this documentary, and this documentary was recommended to me by my very close friend Michelle Patrick. It's available on Netflix in certain countries, but not in India. So I found a copy of it on YouTube. I don't support privacy in any manner, but if somebody has put something on YouTube like this, I truly believe that it is to spread the message far and wide. So I watched the documentary, and it talks about what exactly Scientology is and the actual reality of the religion, right? Now, let's get into the treatment. So, as I was watching the documentary, I was making some notes, and I figured out that there are about 8 to 10 loose points that the documentary covered. But I would like to talk about just two or three main points that the documentary made. Now, the first one is definitely the history of Scientology. The inventor of the religion was L. Ron Hubbard. He was an author who wrote, I think, about 1,000 books, and some of his famous books were Dianetics, and the book Dianetics then became Scientology. He was of the belief that Scientology is a religion which is aimed at individual peace. It's a religion that stands against wars, against criminals, and its sole achievement was to let go of all your personal fears and the weight that you carry on your shoulders, and essentially switch off the reactive side of your brain to enhance the performance of the analytical side of your brain. So this is basically what the religion stood for in the earlier days. It became weird because he designed certain levels of attaining, if I can call it, enlightenment. And to attain that enlightenment, you used to go through a process called auditing, which is essentially counseling, where people were trained to sort of give you an equipment, and you need to talk about the extreme nitty gritties of your life, go through all the things that you have done in your life, all the things that bother you, and essentially let go of those fears. So you can either be a member and have an external life of your own, where you just do donations to the Church of Scientology, or you work for an organization, or you become an integral part of something called the Sea Org, which is the inner circle, basically. So all of this is mentioned in detail. They go into the structures within the religion. They go into who L. Ron Hubbard was and who he became, and why he became so obsessed with himself, and he wanted to build himself like a godlike figure. Now, this is the beginning of the cult type behaviors within the group, because you don't choose to be part of a cult. It just develops on its own. Now, people started believing that he genuinely was a god, and they used to give their lives for his service, for the service of Scientology, and they also used to make huge amounts of donation. Now, the second part I'm coming to is John Travolta and Tom Cruise, very famous Hollywood actors. John Travolta has been a integral part of Scientology and a huge celebrity and a huge source of PR for the Church of Scientology from the late 70s and early 80s. And I think he eventually disassociated himself from the church. But Tom Cruise, he is still associated with the church now. The current head of the church, David Miscavige, is a very close friend of Tom Cruise, and the documentary also talks about how Tom Cruise's life has essentially been decided by the church. That was something that was an eye-opening element in the film, which talks about who Tom Cruise really is and what his life has been and how it's essentially controlled by the church. The third part I'm coming to is Scientology as it stands today, because the documentary talks about the abuse that exists within the different churches of Scientology, the different properties that they have across the world, their journey of after them being exempted by the IRS because they are deemed to be a religion, how they started physically and mentally abusing people, giving them labels as something called suppressive persons. Suppressive persons are those who quit the church because they realize that this is not what they signed up for, and because they have personal information about these people, they go on this entire campaign of maligning the character of those people who exited the church. So much so that the current head of the church, David Miscavige's father, Ron Miscavige, he quit the church, and even his image, even his life has been torn apart because he quit the Church of Scientology. So the 3 points were, okay, the history of what it stood for, how it essentially grew in popularity. It used the celebrity status of a lot of celebrities, John Travolta and Tom Cruise aside, and it grew in popularity so much so that huge celebrations are held every year. I think there's about 5 to 6 events, huge events where millions of dollars are spent. And after that, the religion as it stands today, and it's historically known. I think in the comments of the documentary itself, I found one comment which said, why don't you listen to the podcast that Ron Miscavige, who's David's dad, gave with Joe Rogan. I'm actually listening to that podcast right now. It's a lot to take in, because you sort of see the weird side of humanity in this documentary, especially in America. Something to do with that country. I have no clue. I mean, I'm not making any sweeping statements, but it's weird. So I have a few things, a few thoughts I had after watching the documentary. The main thought that I had was why we as humans have always been attracted to the concept of alter religions or cults, or basically organizations that tell you that they are going to make you achieve certain things in life, and you give them complete autonomy over your personal lives. I don't see how we as humans have sort of evolved to give up our individual sort of privacy in return for something that we don't even have a guarantee that we will receive. We have historically, yes, we have always been part of social groups right from the beginning of the evolution of Homo sapiens. We have been always lured to be part of social groups that sort of give us the ability to group think, and at the same time give us a sense of security. But yes, religions as a concept have existed for years together because, number one, I think it grows from fear intrinsically, but at the same time you have people like Hubbard, who, if he was genuinely sort of looking to attain nirvana or personal peace, I don't think his aim would have been to attain a godlike status and sort of have devotees or people working under him. I mean, I always felt that reading historical texts, material gains is something that is quite low on the list for people who want to attain a sense of personal peace. So, if his goal was to actually attain something like that in his life, I don't think this would have been his aim. So, there's definitely an ulterior motive, and at the same time, now people have said that okay, we joined Scientology to achieve certain things in life, to get rid of certain sins, or to achieve peace within the family, or whatever it is. But after that, they started talking about weird history of the humanity, how Scientology believes that humanity was created after aliens came into the earth from a different planet using spaceships and all that. And they slowly started getting doubts, but because Scientology gave them a perceived illusion of solving their problems, they started believing everything that Scientology spoke about the history of humanity. Now, that is just preposterous. I mean, it's giving up your belief just because okay, it gave you a perceived solution to a problem. It's weird. I don't even I have no clue whether I'm making any sense, but the question as to why we as humans have always been lured to social communities that sort of give us a promise of solving our personal problems without having to attempt to solve it ourselves in any sort of concrete way is beyond me. And the entire aspect of religion, the godlike behavior, the financial aspects, the physical abuse, giving up your whole body, your entire soul to an organization, uh, knowing that you haven't achieved that peace that you have come for, it's weird, it's baffling. It's a must watch for people who want to see the reality of cults, the reality of religious organizations. And I believe that this happens across the world, and in India it happens to an extent which is sort of it captures your soul, it captures everything that you stand for, and people have blind faith in people like Hubbard in India. uh, so it's a must watch for sure. I genuinely recommend it to people who have the mental capacity to take in the anxieties that come along with watching certain documentaries like this. But I should tell you that if you don't want to see, or if you don't want to feel worse about the society around us, then you should sort of give it a skip. But I link both the documentary and the podcast by Joe Rogan with Ron Miscavige down in the description, so you can check that out. This documentary threw me into a frenzy, and I like feeling like this. I like being put in a position where I'm vulnerable with my own thoughts, and I'll have to think about the society around me and people around me like this. So I thoroughly enjoyed the watch, and thank you, Michelle, for recommending this. So please go ahead and watch Going Clear on YouTube. I have linked it in the description, and please hit that subscribe button. I am being emotionally vulnerable. I am being vulnerable with my thoughts on this channel, and I have never done this before. So thank you for bearing with me, and please subscribe for more videos which are coming up. And I'm excited for the next episode as well, because I have another doozy of a documentary which I watched for the next episode. So stay tuned and subscribe. Please engage with my content, and thank you so much for watching episode 4 of Documentary Watch. Bye.